So this is the first episode of our financial literacy course. We're going to be going over budgeting today. Everyone knows generally what a budget is. It's, you're trying to find out how much you can spend every single month on certain things. So generally what you want to do is you want to know how much money comes in. So this would be your income or your revenue or whatever you want to call it. The way I like to do it is I like to do my take home income. So let's say we're working and we make a certain amount of money. Let's just say you make $20 an hour. You don't get the whole $20 an hour usually, right? It gets taxed a certain amount, depending on where you live. Some places you get the whole amount. But let's just say you get the whole amount just to make it easy. You work, let's say 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. So you make 3,200 monthly, assuming there's no tax. So this is where we start, right? We're making 3,200. This is how much we're taking home every single paycheck. Next, we want to look at our expenses. What a lot of people will suggest is you get some type of app that tracks your expenses. If you're too lazy to be tracking through an app and you really want to do it the hard way, a good way to do it is you take 6 to 12 months of expenses, take a look at your bank statements, pull them all up, and start categorizing your expenses. So these are your categories: subscriptions, groceries, restaurants, utilities, rent, mortgage, general shopping. And then you could have a completely different set of categories, but these are some general ones that you can kind of use as a baseline. So you take your 6 to 12 months of expenses using your bank statements and you start to categorize each one. So you just kind of add everything up. Let's say you have six Amazon Primes, $14 each month. You add all of this up and then you just divide this by the amount of months that you've added. So you'll get an average. In this case, since it's all the same number, the average is just 14. So on average, we spend $14 a month on Amazon Prime. So that's how you would get your categories per month. So now we're going to do groceries. So let's say we spend like 200 this month, 300 that month, 500 this month, and we just go crazy with groceries and we're just spending like insane amounts. Okay, maybe not insane amounts, because if you make 3,200, you should probably not be spending like a crazy amount on groceries. Let's just be very, very normal with it. So, boom, right? That's 1,900 in total for the last 6 months. We divide this by 6. So we spend on average $316 per month on groceries. So now we do restaurants. And let's say we're not super crazy with restaurants. So we spend on average $28.83 every single month. Utilities, it's usually pretty standard. I would say actually, I don't know how much people spend on utilities. It really varies on like how crazy you are with your utilities. But let's just say water is 120 plus. Let's say electricity 60. Let's say your internet you pay 50 a month, and then things like telephone, I don't know, like 30. So 260 a month, right? So your average per month is $260. So if we add this all up, our total expenses is $1,220, rounded up. This is our net income. Our net is just how much we make every single month, take home, minus the amount that we need for our essentials. We essentially have $1,981 left over to spend every single month. Okay, at least 100. Okay, fine. $100 per month on toiletries. I mean, I was just kind of lumping that into groceries, but sure. 1881. What are we going to do with this money? So, some things that you're going to want to do with this money, generally speaking, what you would want to do is if you have any debt, you want to get rid of as much debt as you possibly can. You want to be debt free. Having debt is not good. You don't want to be maxing out your credit cards. You don't want to be taking loans out for things that you can't afford. The most important thing is try to be debt free if you can, or if you do get into debt, be able to actually pay it off and you don't get stuck paying interest for the rest of your life. What are things that cause debt? Credit cards, credit card debt. Don't ever be in credit card debt. Always pay off your balances. Don't use it if you can't afford to pay it off, because credit card debt is one of the debts that is super dangerous if you don't get ahead of it, because it's just going to snowball, especially since credit card debt interest is super high, right? Second thing you want to do is get rid of just general loans. So these could be things like car, student loans, etc., right? I don't know exactly what kind of loan somebody could be in, but these are some of the general ones that somebody could potentially have. Yeah, wait, let me break this out. Let's just say you have like 5,000 left on that. Let's say you have like 3,000 on this. Let's say you have like 10,000 in student loans. And let's say you have like a $2,000 personal loan that you took out because I don't know, you asked somebody for money and then they decided to write a whole contract for you. This is your debt, right? This is your take home after your expenses. This is your debt. These things will accumulate interest over time. Let's say the credit card debt is something like 25% interest, right, per year. And then let's say the car loan is not too bad, right? We're at like a 6% APY. And then let's say student loan, let's say you don't owe anything here, right? Until for the next 2 years, 0% until 2 years after graduation. And then there's personal loan. Let's just say there's like no interest on this. 0%, just pay the person back. There's just a friend, they gave you $2,000, you owe them the $2,000. They're just saying, pay me whenever, but please pay me. So if you look at this, which one of these would you feel like you would want to tackle first in terms of these interest percents? Credit card debt. Yes, credit card debt. You want to get rid of credit card debt first. And here's the reason why. So let's say $3,000 times 25%, which is $750 in interest per year. So divide by 12. So that's $62 in interest every single time that you decide to just not pay it. But the problem is interest compounds. This will start to accumulate more, right? So you get $3,000 plus the 62 that month. That's $62 gets added to this, and then you multiply that by 25%. Divide that by the 12, and then now you're paying 63, and it just continues to grow exponentially over time. So if you're not paying this off, you're just going to continue to owe, right? But basically just imagine that it just continues to compound. So you're paying interest on interest, including the $3,000 that you originally had. And you definitely don't want to do that. You definitely want to pay off that credit card debt first. APY is huge. It's super expensive. Get rid of it. And then you want to get any of the other interest ones, right? I mean, obviously you'd want to pay this back if you can within 2 years, but because let's just assume you haven't graduated yet, you still have time on this. And then this one, maybe try to talk to this person that you got a personal loan out with, and then see if they'll wait for you a little bit. I think one thing that's really overlooked when you borrow money from your friends is sometimes it gets to the point where rather than having a financial problem with them, it's more of like it becomes a personal problem, right? It's like, hey, I can't really trust you because you can't pay me back, or they start to use this money against you for something. So definitely try to pay that back so that you can continue to keep your personal relationships good. How are we going to tackle this, right? Like we said, we're going to take the credit card debt first, right? Pretty much within 2 months of paychecks, we'll be able to pay this off right away, right? So I would say just try to live within your means for at least 2 months, and then boom, we took this out of the way, right? Let's just say we made this in 2 months. We got interest of 126. We subtract this from this, boom. We have $635 left over in order to take care of any of the other loans. So that would be how you would do it. You would basically try to get rid of all of these loans, hitting the higher interest stuff first with the amount of income that you have. So if I add all of this up, that's $20,000, right? If I divide this by this, in 10 months, so in less than a year, you can literally pay off all of this debt, and then you're good to go in about 10 to 11 months. And then once you get to that point, right, you have no debt, you're happy, you get to keep all of this money that you take home. You get to keep all of this. Now you can invest, you can start spending a little bit more money, you can do certain things that you weren't able to do before because you were so crushed mentally by that financial burden of having debt. Check out the Discord server. I'm still working on it, but I will be posting a budget template in Excel or on Sheets if people need it on that. There is other social media now. I use Twitter, I use TikTok, I use Instagram, I use all of that. So make sure to follow and check those out in the links below, and subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content. Thank you so much, guys, for sticking it out with me, and I hope you guys learned something.